NBC Orchestra, inviting you to join Johnny with some highlights from the past. Some of the stars sharing our 23rd anniversary tonight are Jack Benny, Betty Goodman, Eddie Murphy, Burt Reynolds, Don Rickles, George C. Scott, Jimmy Stewart, Betty White, and in-person comedy performances by Gary Shandling, Ronnie Shakes, and Louis Anderson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Johnny.
Very nice of you, and I accept that applause for all the members of the Tonight Show. I thank you, really. Anyway, while your reaction is nice and that ovation is personally fulfilling, I was hoping for a watch. As Ed pointed out, this is our 23rd anniversary. I checked into the anniversaries. 25th is silver, correct? 50th is gold. I just found out a while ago what the 23rd is.
What?
Glad wrap. Now, we're walking out of the office tonight. My secretary, Drew Wilson, my assistant, said, "Gee, you look so wonderful." And I said, "We all look the same." Guys. Now, when women dress up formally, they look all beautiful gowns and so forth. Guys put on the same outfit. We look like professional mourners or something. Now, personally, the only time I wear a tuxedo is during my wedding. If I'm doing a television show. Obviously, you can tell this is not a wedding, because if this was my wedding, you would see somebody with an M16. So, now I came in from Malibu today, do the show here in Burbank, and I must apologize. The Ventura Freeway was backed up for miles, traffic, and I want to apologize to Bruce Springsteen, because I realized most of the people who were driving here to see this show so if Bruce's concert starts late tonight, he'll know there was people coming here. This is, we're on prime time tonight. You know why they call it prime time?
No, why?
Because they don't dare call it U.S. choice. This is just prime. You've all seen Back to the Future? All right. Tonight, this is full speed to the past. 23 years, I'm getting a little nervous. You ever heard that expression, 23 skidoo?
Oh, yeah.
No, not yet, no. 23 years on the air. 1962, when we started, in October 1, 1962, was kind of a simpler time in television. The closest television came in those years to sex and violence was the day they let Julia Childs hack up a chicken. Do you know when I started the show, Dr. Ruth Westheimer was a virgin? 20.
That's right, yes, I was.
When I started this show, Phil Donahue was just a teenager practicing in his room with a hand mic, running around, you know. The things that have happened in 23 years. When we started this program, music fans called Pat Boone the boss. Give an idea? And by that time, the biggest scandal in baseball was Sandy Koufax eating pork. Now, those of you who remember the early days of television, I mean, television was different in those early days, right? They had shows like Name That Tune, Wheel of Fortune, Price is right. Let's make a deal. I'll tell you, over the years, I've seen them come and go. And that's just in my house. But I want to tell you... Okay, I'm sorry, I couldn't resist that one. In 1962, Ronald Reagan was on Death Valley Days, sitting behind a mule team. Now he's got the same view of Congress. Believe me, the President Reagan was going to be here tonight, but he's busy. He's negotiating with Moldavia for the release of Alexis. I had an interview the other day, and somebody asked me why the show has lasted so long. I really don't know. I think it's probably because, I don't mean this egoistically, but I guess I probably cater to all tastes. Now, for you satanic message buffs, if you run my monologues backwards, you'll come across jokes. We actually originated the first broadcast from the show, and we were there for 10 years in Studio 6B in New York City. We came out to California in 1972, and I love New York. I love California. It's a different lifestyle, though, here in California, right? It's laid back. Go to New York, what do they serve? Ball games, hot dogs and beer. You go to ball games out here, they sell quiche and artichokes with dill sauce. Something's wrong there. And New York streetwalkers are different. I mean, New York streetwalkers, for example, want cash. Out here, the ladies of the evening will give you 7.7% financing. Anyway, a lot of people connected with the show. A lot of the staff's been with us since we started. I do want to thank my producer, Peter LaSalle, my executive producer, Fred DeCordova, who has stuck with me through thick and thick. And through the years, I have learned to lean on Ed. And Ed has learned to lean on everything. Not really. Doc Severson's been with the show since it started. New York for 23 years, right? Right. A lot of guys in the band. A lot of guys in the band who have been in the show 10 or 15 years, right?
Yeah, right.
Tommy Newsom, I discovered about 20 years ago. He was, at that time, Tommy was a charisma coach to Bartles and James. And I was trying to figure out all the shows we'd done. Do you realize that over 65,000 times I have said to somebody on the show, does this film clip need setting up? And I think about 12,461 times I have said the following, we'll be right back, which we will. Tonight, we've got a lot of great moments in the Tonight Show for you. We have three of the most inventive, brightest young comedians who more or less got the start on the Tonight Show. Mr. Gary Shandling, Ronnie Shakes, and Louis Anderson are with us. So stay where you are. Thank you for coming, and we'll be right back.
Tonight's anniversary show is brought to you in part by Chrysler Plymouth. We're making Made in America mean something again.
Is back with Plymouth. Front-wheel drive Voyager, the Lion K, Turismo Duster 550 protection plan. Plymouth. The best is born in America again.
Designs that work are designs that last. And a Delta washerless faucet lasts and lasts and lasts. When it's on, it's on. And when it's off, it's off. So it works just as beautifully as it looks. Enduring designs by Delta for the beautiful designs that you live in. Delta Faucet, we're first because we last.
Soon someone who doesn't know anything about you could assign you a new long-distance company. They won't know how much AT&T's clear long-distance connections mean to you. Or our personalized customer service, our worldwide calling. They won't know unless you tell them. AT&T long distance for over 100 years. When you reached out, we were there. And you can keep it that way. If you're asked to choose, make the choice yourself. Send in your ballot.
Okay, thank you, guys. Okay.
Happy anniversary, sir, once again. I don't like to interfere with your attire, but you have a little thread. Look at, where does that go?
I don't know, but ouch. Anyway, we are back. We've got a lot of things to show you tonight. The problem when we put the show together is trying to figure out what to leave in and what not to show. A lot of people have their favorites, and if we don't show them, they get upset. Sometimes they'll say, oh, we saw that. But we just try to put things together to kind of represent some of the things that we had fun with the past 23 years. I've done President Reagan frequently on this show. First one we did, I think, was Mr. Reagan's Neighborhood. We had the president on Family Feud one night. And we did this, and the president's got a great sense of humor about it. As a matter of fact, I had Freddie DeCordova send Mrs. Reagan a picture to the president a couple of months ago where I was in full makeup, as you will see in a moment, and he signed it for me and sent it back. Great. So he's got a sense of humor. This sketch is one of the favorites of most people. They asked to see it. And what is it? It's President Reagan getting ready for a press conference. I should point out, is it Fred Holliday? Who is the other actor in here. And you should remember at the time we did this sketch, James Watt was then the Secretary of the Interior. So here's our first little look back into the past, President Reagan's press conference.
Well, now, would you send in Jim Baker, please?
Morning, Mr. President.
Well, good morning, Jim. Just sit down there.
Yes, sir. Mr. President, your press conference is scheduled to begin in an hour, so we only have a short time for me to brief you on the kind of subjects that the press may throw at you.
Well, now, the environment is on their minds, and I'm sure they'll ask me about my Secretary of the Interior.
What?
I said I'm sure they'll ask me about my Secretary of the Interior.
What?
Jim, I just told you I think they'll ask about my Secretary of the Interior.
James what? You're scheduled to go swimming with him tomorrow morning at the Y.
Where?
Why?
Why?
That's right. With what?
With what? I don't even know with who, Jim.
Not who, what?
Well, now, Jim, let's get this straight. I'm going swimming tomorrow with who?
What?
Where?
Why?
Jim, let's go on to the Middle East now. I'll need the first name of the head of the PLO, that Arafat guy.
Yes, sir.
I said I'll need the first name of the head of the PLO.
Yes, sir.
Jim, it's nice of you to be polite, but what is his name?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, now, you're giving me two different answers, Jim. Now, what is his name?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, now, I ask you what is the first name of the head of the PLO, and you tell me, no, sir.
That's right.
Then you tell me, yes, sir.
Absolutely. You got it.
I got what?
He's the Secretary of the Interior.
Jim, I don't understand why you're doing this to me.
Oval Office, Baker. Yes? You have the head of the Republic of China calling for the president. Premier Chung Dong-hu. Hold on. Mr. President, who's on the phone?
Well, now, Jim, I don't know who's on the phone.
That is correct.
What's correct?
No, he's your Secretary of the Interior.
Now, Jim, let's start all over here very quietly. Just tell me, Jim, who is on the phone?
Who is on the phone?
Who?
Yes, sir.
That Arafat guy is on the phone, Jim?
No, sir. Who is?
What?
Swimming tomorrow morning at the Y.
Quite frankly, I'm kind of glad that the president's going to be around for another 4 years so we can do some more sketches. He's fun to do. Well, moving along, excuse me. Now, over the years, occasionally on the show, we have paid tribute to two men, actually, who have achieved, I guess you'd say, the status of international sex symbols. And the next sketch you're going to see pays tribute to those two sex symbols. They are Burt Reynolds and our own Tommy Newsom. Burt, I know you thought that you came here tonight just as a, as a regular guest on our show, but Burt, we have fooled you because tonight, Burt Reynolds, international film star, #1 box office draw in the world, and all around macho stud. This is your life. Yes, Burt, I know. Surprise. Want you to relax. Enjoy yourself. We have a monitor out here. We have some pictures you want to watch. Yes, Burt, you were born Burton Wham Bamowski in the sleepy southern town of Waycross, Georgia, February 11th, 1936.
Oh, I'm sorry you said that.
You were born into a proud but promiscuous southern family. Burning with a fierce desire for show business stardom, you moved to the entertainment capital of the Southeast, Jupiter, Florida, where you posed, Burt, for your very first centerfold for Jack and Jill magazine.